What up, people? It's your boy Chid from Guna Eagle Eye, coming to you again with a brand new video. This time it is Eagle Eye, the transfer rumor show where I talk to you about rumors and news surrounding the Arsenal. More specifically than that, it is the members edition of Eagle Eye. I did say I was going to do a member stream. It was meant to be earlier than this, but stuff gets in the way. This is the problem about having two jobs. Essentially, because I will always have to show priority to the one that quite honestly makes me more money. And so apologies for that, but still getting it. It's just a bit later than normal. Please do slap a like on the video, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. As you guys come in, you'll notice some of you will be able to comment, some of you won't be. If you're a mod, you will obviously be able to comment in the chat. You do still need moderators for member streams. Having said that, mods are not able to come on the stream with me. So this is a member stream only. So doesn't mean that you guys can't stay and watch. It just means that you won't necessarily be able to participate in the chat room like you normally will be, unless you're a member. All right. By the way, once again, thank you so much, so much. Awesome to everybody that subscribed last night. I went from having 1 or 2 before 9K to having like 30 more than 9K this morning. I was like, oh, nice. So that was great. Thank you. I appreciate that. Much love. Onwards and upwards, because 10K is going to be the special one. 10K, I've got to do something special for that. So let's see if we can get there quickly. All right, let's keep this thing moving. Let's talk about Mr. Houssem Aouar. This is, I think, the guy that is many of you guys' #1 targets. I don't think I'm exaggerating at all when I say that. He's certainly a player that excites most Arsenal fans, and you can see why. He's a very exciting player, very technically gifted. And can do anything on the ball. He really can. He was sent off though over this past week, and I think many people kind of thought, oh, okay, well that means that he's off to Arsenal then, because I don't know, they kind of made that deduction. Arsenal fans, they made that deduction, but I guess the way they saw it is, well, he's going to get suspended, so that would be his last game for Lyon, even though it's literally 1 game he's being suspended for, and then he will essentially come to Arsenal. And I think people, I don't know if people have short-term memories. Can you tell me which of our signings have not been protracted? People make it sound easy. And if you've not noticed, there's always a pattern with Arsenal. Whenever we complete a signing, the very next day, or have some good news, or someone signs a long-term deal, the very next day, Arsenal are apparently imminently about to bid for their next transfer target. It always happens. Every single time. There's a pattern of these things happening. Speaking of which, and I can't believe this, I'll give this Twitter page something. It has a habit. It never gets stuff right, but it has a habit of hyping news at the best of times. SSN French Football News, or whatever they're called, right? Put something out today just on a random, basically saying that Arsenal are imminently going to bid over 40 million euros. Sorry, at least 40 million euros for Houssem Aouar. That was the story that was going around pretty much this evening. Picked up a lot of traction. Subsequently, whenever they get attention for a made-up tweet, they quietly delete that tweet. But obviously, the damage had already been done. And obviously, a lot of people picked up on that story. Many outlets are now reporting that to be true. And there's one quick question I want to ask you guys just after I talk about this. But let me at least talk about this now. Hold on 1 second. Houssem Aouar, 1 second. Damn it, I just had the story up and it's gone. It's typical, isn't it? All right, new offer expected soon. Right, just loading this up. So Arsenal are not finishing the transfer window, it would seem. The Gunners are expected to submit a 40 million euro plus bid, because I saw people saying, oh, so it's going to be 40 million euros. No, plus. It's going to be at least 40 million euros plus bid for Lyon's Houssem Aouar, according to Telefoot, which this particular website says is a somewhat reliable source. No, it isn't. Out of France. Lyon sporting director Junio, people were taking the piss out of the way I was saying that yesterday. Last week that his club had rejected a Matteo Guendouzi plus cash offer. Now, this is where I'm confused. Because at the start of today, several outlets said that no official bid had actually happened. There's been no concrete bid from Arsenal. That there has been inquiries, there has been talks, but there's no concrete bid that's ever come in from Arsenal. Whereas you've got this allegedly reputable outlet called Telefoot saying that Arsenal have had a cash bid and Guendouzi offer rejected. So this is where these things you have to kind of read between the lines and almost use your own deduction. It's like I hark back to when people were freaking the fuck out about the Gabriel deal crashing because United and PSG came in for him. And I just said, and I remember I even said it in a couple of chat groups, right? Saying, Chick, I thought you know about this stuff. And I'm like, slow down and just think about what you've read. You're telling me that the team that has been linked with him all summer in United have waited and waited and waited for us to make a move before making that move, first of all. Second of all, the other team that's being linked with him is a team that knows him better than any of us. You're telling me they wait till now? Sometimes you just got to think about it. Just think about it. Think about whether it makes sense or not, right? So I saw this Houssem Aouar story tonight, and I just looked at it and I just started laughing. Now, of course, you guys know, I've said from day one, I'm kind of in a I believe it when I see it mode with Partey. You know, with Partey, with Aouar. I find it difficult to believe, not only for money, but the fact that the kid would want to come to us. There's a lot of question marks I have about this deal in terms of the reality of it, which is why I'm not excited until I'm excited. You know, when I get excited is when I see Fabrizio saying, "Here we go," because I'm struggling to buy into this deal. Not to mention, I think the other thing that I think I've not spoken enough about is that I believe Arsenal are allowed 17 non-English players or British-based or British-raised players and 18 British-raised players. Not to mention that we still got to bring this keeper. This is at the moment now, by the way. We still got to bring in a keeper, this Runnison guy, then 2 midfielders. Where forget cash. You need to make room for these motherfuckers. So I feel like these are all things that I just think to myself, Arsenal, any other team would be proficient enough to manage this. Arsenal dragged their feet over free signings. So I'm struggling to believe that they'll get the deals that they need to get done over the line before the transfer window closes on the 5th of October. By the way, apologies if you can hear my washing machine. Straight up, I've been doing laundry all day because I just needed to have done laundry all day, basically. And I put the last of the stuff on like 20 minutes ago. So you may hear it from time to time. Apologies. I am aware. But it is what it is. I mean, this Houssem Aouar guy, if we can get him over the line, of course, he's going to add a lot to the team. He's 22 years old. He had 10 goals last season and had 9 assists. And that's from the number 8 position. So he is someone that I think will add a lot. Keep in mind, guys, this is the same season where they ended early. So he's clearly got something about him. I know a lot of you want him so badly, but what do you actually think? Is someone that you think we should just go balls out for? Again, let me know. Leave it in the comments below. And obviously, if you come on stream with me, of course, we'll be able to talk about it some more. I won't talk about Aubameyang for now, because I feel like that's something I want to talk to members about when they come on. And guys, I'm not going to go on for very, very long here. I'm going to try and finish just before midnight my time, if possible. So keep that in mind, guys, should you do come on. What else am I going to talk about now? Let's talk about Runnison. So Runnison, the goalkeeper. I should change the picture really, shouldn't I? One sec. Runnison, the goalkeeper. A keeper that you guys know I'm not particularly excited about. Stats are terrible. Everything about him just seems terrible. But he is a recommended signing from the new Brentford coach. Remember, ironically, we poached Brentford's coach a couple of weeks ago for Arteta's new coaching setup. Well, this guy is a recommendation from that coach. So I guess we'll get to see what he's about. This is a particular reason why I don't like this idea of cutting scouts. Because remember, we've gone through a whole exercise of chopping all these scouts. And this is a type of situation where also don't have a lot of money. You need a scout to be able to help you and say, all right, this is the kid you should go for. He's 1.5 million. He has had a clanger in him. But trust me, he's worthwhile. The ceiling is high. But at the moment, all I can see is these weak-ass stats for him. I'm just like, you played in the French league, bro. It's not like the hardest league in the world. And you've got one of the lowest save percentages. I don't particularly rate Leno that highly. You guys know this. But I'll give him something. You can't fuck with his save ratio. Can't fuck with it. But again, I don't know what you guys think. Excuse me. Moved it onto this gazer. Again, let me know. Leave it in the comments below. I'm just going to pop into the chat room real quick just to see what you lot are saying. Active, I see Carter. Big up to you, Carter. Dan T, big up to you, brother. Rune, big up to you. Big up to you. And Bertrand the mod, I see you. And Daniel, I see you too, guys. Hopefully you guys are well. We'll have a couple of you guys on in a minute, so just stick around and I'll see what you guys are saying shortly. Let's talk about who we're going to talk about this time. Mr. Thomas Partey. Sorry, it's the only picture I have of him. I think it is, anyway. The only picture I have of him. No. I lied. I have that picture. So Arsenal are still very much interested in him. He is someone that is still viewed as a top priority. Obviously, yesterday I talked about this guy, who I personally wouldn't mind if we don't get Partey. It would be a hell of a lot cheaper. And actually, it's a deal that makes sense if you are trying to afford on Aouar. On Aouar where Fabrizio and a number of people have gone on record to say he's not going for less than 54 million. Then it may be that we have to just say, all right, as much as it would pain me, let's forget the Partey situation and go and get Sangara. But he is someone that apparently is still very much a priority. Arsenal supposedly are trying to build the kitty for that. A lot of the headlines today was Arsenal receive a cash injection. You know what that cash injection was? Arsenal. It's like the way they report headlines. Basically, the cash injection was this deal. As this deal worth £20 million from Arsenal to Aston Villa went through today. It is completed. He is an Aston Villa player as I speak. And the way I see it for me, good luck to him. It is what it is. Do you know what? I completely skipped past stories, didn't I? I was supposed to be talking about Runnison. So Runnison, there is some conflicting stories about Runnison because supposedly he's completed his medical, but then David Ornstein reckons that actually that deal is pretty far from the truth. So it's interesting that the two oracles, so to speak, in Fabrizio and David Ornstein are butting heads. Now, I've never particularly bought into David Ornstein's fife anyway. And he obviously lost a lot of credibility through the Pepe thing from last year, as did the Sky Sports guys, to be fair. So I'm not sure where David Ornstein picked this up, but he seems pretty adamant that the deal is much further away than people think it is. That as far as he's aware, there's no medical that's taken place. Arsenal are vaguely interested in the player, but their actual first choice is David Raya, who, if you guys forgotten who David Raya is this young man who's desperate to join the club. Arsenal's grand plan for this idea is that they sign him and then they loan him back to Brentford. But in my mind, I'm kind of like, what's the point signing it? We need a goalkeeper now. That made no sense. So again, what do you guys think? Speaking of our goalkeeper situation, I don't have a picture of him, and quite honestly, I can't be asked to get one. But Matt Macy is already kind of on record to say that if we do go and sign a goalkeeper, that he'd be looking to leave this summer. Now, if anyone who doesn't know, Matt Macy was supposed to leave this summer. He was actually supposed to leave this summer, and then an injury to Leno made the club think, might be sensible just to secure Matt Macy for the next few months. Obviously, at the time, they thought Leno's injury would be a lot longer than it ended up being. So he's actually been given a year's extension anyway. So it actually does give us an opportunity to make a little bit of money on him. But our goalkeeper situation that was once rock solid and tight is very, very rocky at the moment. Who would you guys sign to buy? That'd be my question to you. Let me know. Leave it in the comments below. Once again, 150 people watching a member stream, which is great. If you're wondering why you can't contribute in the chat, it's because it's a member stream. I do them once a week for members of the channel. It allows them to come on, have a chat with me, interact in the chat room, and obviously I'll be doing that within the next 5 minutes of the show. So stick around. You won't just see me rabbiting on. You'll get to see a couple of the others give their opinion on Aubameyang, our transfer window business, and where we think we're going from going forward. So do stick around for that. If you're interested in becoming a member, just hit the join button. And if for whatever reason that join button doesn't work, just, again, find a way of letting me know. DM me, whatever it takes, just let me know. All right, let me come into the chat room and see what you lot are saying very briefly. I see you, Dan T, DVS. I see you, Active. Sate, you need to come on. I need to have you on for longer than we did last time. Plus, you had some African time when you came on last time, so make sure make sure you come on this time. Daniel, I want to respect what Daniel says. Most likely a cup goalkeeper. I'm not even sure he qualifies to be that. I honestly think Matt Macy looks better, and I don't particularly rate Matt Macy. Do you know what? Let me get this geezer off. Let me put myself back on. Ta-da! Sorry about the lighting, by the way. Straight up, the light is off because it is hot as fuck in here. Oh, I should talk about this story as well. 2 stories I should talk about in terms of exits. So, Mr. Rob Holding, the last that we heard that Arteta was very interested in keeping him. He sees him as quite a reliable, experienced hand, particularly with David Luiz out. He almost sees him as a new version of David Luiz, which is obviously great for Rob Holding. I mean, I don't think he particularly wanted to leave before, but he was in terrible form over the season, to the point where I'd still sell him, to be honest. But West Ham kind of turned the tables. I don't know if it's a made-up story because we're about to play West Ham on Saturday. That very much could be the case. But supposedly West Ham have put together a loan package where they basically will offer £5 million to loan Rob Holding with the view of a permanent deal next year. Keep in mind, guys, Rob Holding currently has 2 years left on his deal. He's 24 years old. I'd have taken this in a heartbeat. I think we need every penny we could get, judging by what the papers are reporting. But what do you guys think? Again, let me know. Leave it in the comments below. And then another story that has kind of done a U-turn a little bit is Kolasinac. Now, I talked about this yesterday and the day before. There was lots of rumors, hard rumors last week that he was looking to go back to Germany. Schalke were all on his grill talking about, listen, whatever we have to do to make this deal happen. And it seemed like Kolasinac was set to leave the club. And then supposedly Mikel Arteta's done an El Nene with him and basically tried to convince him of his worth and talk to him that we need him for 1 more year. And if he's prepared to stay 1 more year, that he will let him go next year, that type of thing. So apparently it did the trick. Kolasinac just wanted to feel needed, and that was the reason he brought it up, supposedly. But that has kind of taken an interesting turn because Bayer Leverkusen have come in, and obviously Bayer Leverkusen, they're a bit flash of the dough these days. They've just made a bunch of money on selling Kai Havertz. And what they basically said is, keep in mind, Schalke, I think the most that they were bidding for was 5 million for Kolasinac. What Leverkusen said is, listen, we'll give you 9 million for him. It's like, we can get 9 million for a guy that we didn't spend money for in the first place and get him off the books. Yes, please. Yes, please. So I don't know. I think there's a chance that still could happen. But like I mentioned earlier, regardless of whether Arteta wants to hear it or not, we need to move some of these guys off the books. So, like, from an actual mandatory standpoint, forget money, right? I think you're only allowed 17 it's not European-based players, it's just non-British players. So we need to get a move on and get going if we're going to get rid of some of these players. But again, let me know what you think. Leave it in the comments below. I don't want to get excited about exits because I know Arsenal are so poor at them. But again, what do you guys think? Let me know. Let me know. All right, guys. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the link of the chat in the community page to allow members to go and sign on to it. Remember, guys, if you want to become a member, hit that join button. Not only do you get to sit on a stream with me and chat some bollocks for about half an hour, but you get access to things like cooking with Chigs. I've never put that on the stream. Gym vlogs, which I keep promising will eventually start. It will eventually start. Gym vlogs. I'm going to put general vlogs on there, just generally. Just on a day-to-day basis, so you get to know me a little bit better. FIFA stuff. People were asking me the other day, what happened to the FIFA? It will return. I promise you it will return. So FIFA will return. And just other little goodies. So you do get a good range of stuff. It's just a very simple 2-tier system. So do check it out. And yeah, hopefully you'll find it worth it. All right. Bear with me for a second. Let me just see if I can do my little thing. I'll tell you what. Is there an interesting picture I can provide as a distraction in the meantime? No, there isn't, is there? All right. I'll tell you what. Have a look at Kolasinac's gold locks until I can actually do it. But hopefully, I won't have too many people on. 2 to 3 max. But yeah, we'll just have a little half an hour spitting balls. I want to get their impression on, what they think about Aubameyang staying. Do they think that the whole thing was a bit over the top? I know some people do think it was over the top, and they didn't really react to it as well as they should have. So it'd be interesting to get your views on that. Bear with me. 2 secs, I promise you. Just muddling through like an old man. There you go, community post. All right, here we go. Right. Okay. So this should be in member stream now, members community posts now. So literally for all channel members, go and check out the community posts. Literally, I'm only going to have 2 or 3 on there. So if you do come on, make sure that you're active, because obviously if someone's in the lobby and I've not brought them on, it'd be unfair to have your non-active self versus them be eager to come on and say something. And priority will always be shown to people who have not been on in a while or have not been on at all. So make sure you do show. 1 second. Stream. Member stream. All right. Here we go. So that should be showing. So I'll wait for them to come on. Let me come into the chat in the meantime and see what you lot are saying. I would rather get Houssem Aouar and Sal Laka. I am not against that idea, guys. I'll be honest. I'm not against that idea. Overplan in the house. Kolasinac is the worst fullback I've seen at the club since Andre Santos. Rune, I cannot join tonight, Chig, but I will later on. Okay, good. All right, well, we have a couple of people on at the moment in the lobby. I see them. In fact, one of them actually has a camera for once, so that I'll congratulate them on. He already knows who I'm talking about. So first things first, let me get rid of Kolasinac, because I know you guys are mad that I put Kolasinac on there as a picture. Right. Okay, so first things first, let me bring Sayat on. Welcome. You good?
My guy, thank you. Yeah, I'm good. I'm actually on holiday.
Oh, you're on holiday? Oh gosh.
Yeah.
See, I can't do that. I'm going on holiday not next week, the week after. And my other half has already set me a challenge of, can I not do a YouTube show during that week? I'm going to struggle. So we'll see what happens.
That's going to be hard.
I know, I'm going to see what happens.
Especially if we go for one of Partey or Aouar.
What I'm hoping that A, she'll allow me to do any breaking news, and B, that she, after the first couple of days, she'll just be like, all right, don't worry, go on, do a show. And also joining me is Daniel Soto.
Hello, everyone. Yeah,
the wait is here. Camera on.
Yeah, the wait is here. It finally came the moment to reveal myself.
There you go. Big up to you guys. I hope you're well. All right, let's start with you, Sayat. What do you think about Aubameyang signing yesterday? Were you happy? Were you ecstatic? What was your feelings generally?
Generally, I was really happy. Finally, we could actually sign a player that's been good. That's like a world-class player at his position, and he's a captain. We have that captaincy curse.
I've said that myself.
So yeah, I think it was really good. I think the club showed ambition, and I think that I actually got the feeling that Aubameyang really believes in this project with Arteta. And genuinely, I think it's good. I just hope that they use this opportunity to bring in our Partey, not to be like, okay, hey, you got Aubameyang, but we're not gonna be able to bring any more big names, because then we're just going around in circles again. And I think we reach a point where either we will kick on and do something great, or we will become like Spurs and just go downfall. And
well, even Spurs are making moves. I mean, they're looking to sign Bale back, and they're trying to get that Region, which I think is a great signing for them.
That's a good signing,
because that Ben Davies is not a good defender.
Yeah, they badly need a decent left back, don't they? So
Danny Rose. After the documentary, after watching the documentary, the Danny Rose situation, I think is gone.
Yes, of course. I've still not watched it.
No,
you haven't watched it. You haven't watched it.
I haven't watched it because I thought, why do I want to watch something with Spurs, right? But people in my group chats, I've got like 4 football group chats, and one MMA boxing one, and every single one of my group chats has talked about this damn documentary. So I'm like, shit, I need to watch it. So I definitely will watch it. That's a damn sure. Carter says, "Get damn on the stream." Yeah, Dan, you know, Dan likes hiding. Dan and Ben like hiding when it comes to stream time. But I do see Carter in the chat, in the lobby. So, are you good, Carter? You well?
Yeah, I'm good, Shake. Hi, guys. How are you?
Good. Dan, how you doing, Carter?
Daniel, what do you think about Aubameyang signing? Were you happy yesterday?
Yeah, I was pretty much relieved yesterday after the long wait, after pretty much all these theories about the 14th and pretty much, yeah, it's pretty much exciting. It's a really great signing for us, especially for the next 3 years for the club. And yeah, and pretty much nice to see the video, and I just enjoyed pretty much the signing overall.
Okay. And yourself, Carter?
Yeah, of course. We're gonna enjoy the signing, but midfield is more important right now. we're not gonna stop mourning, mate. It's not gonna stop.
I mean, I know people who have said, and I do get the argument in a way, that said that this whole Aubameyang thing has dragged on for so long that it's kind of like when it was announced, yeah, sure, there was relief there, but there's also this kind of like, all right, we kind of killed my bus for it already, because I think most people knew that he'd signed, and it was just to get this very elaborate video, which I must admit, I maybe I'm a sucker. I liked the video. I liked it. I liked seeing that type of stuff. I like our past being acknowledged a little bit more. And some of our younger fans,
it was personal, you know.
Yeah, some of our younger fans quite honestly need to know about that type of stuff. I think sometimes I wish we'd go a little bit further back than just 1998. I'd love us to go further back, and for like some of the younger fans to think, oh, what was that team that won back then, and what year was it that they won, and really look into what some of our team history sometimes. And I think that's something that our Arsenal admin even is quite guilty of, that they don't do enough promotion in some of our history.
Do nothing about George Graham's era.
See what I'm saying?
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. I really don't get it. I don't get it either. It would even
be cool to see something from Chapman's era, you know.
Yeah. See what I'm saying? It's mad. It is mad, but it is something that is I would like to see the club improve for sure. But I liked the video. I'm happy he signed. Now it's about what we do from here, because, like you say, I think this team. I think the team is playing reasonably well, but it's going to need help. And I suppose that brings me on to the transfer window, which seems to be always what we're talking about at the moment. We've got 3 weeks left. What do you think we're going to do in those 3 weeks, Daniel?
Probably buy the new what's it called? That one goalie, the Icelandic goalie.
Yeah.
We'll probably just get him in. Maybe make a last transfer deadline bid for Partey or either one of those. I don't think we'll get both of them. Okay. And apart from that, we'll probably just see Socrates leave, and maybe Holding. I think Holding will go.
Oh, you still think Holding will go? Okay, interesting.
Yeah, either Holding or Chambers. I think it just comes down to either one of those two. Who Mikel Arteta believes is fit for or who he has in plans for the next couple of years.
What about Mustafi? Think he'll stay?
Yeah, I think he'll stay. I think he's entering his last year, right? Or
this is the last year in his deal.
Yeah, I think he'll just seal out his time. Either that, or we'll probably sell him during January. That's if there's a but I think it will just I just firmly believe we'll be in the same position as pretty much Barcelona at the moment, where they're just letting people go for free or just trying to get them out of the wage roles, such as Arturo Vidal, Rakitic, all of these players. I just don't think we'll get any reasonable value for them.
Okay. Carter, what about yourself? What do you think is realistic between now and 5th of October?
I mean, the realistic can be both. Why not? We are Arsenal club, right? We are supposed to be getting all the players we want. I mean, if we don't get both, we Arsenal as Arsenal fans, we cannot ask this team to get top four, and we should accept that we are a mid-table team. Anything between fifth to seventh would be moderate according to the team. And I see that, as you mentioned, Czech team is really doing well. And I get Daniel's point about where we have to sell, and it's similar situation as Barcelona. But it is good that Arsenal are not just letting go, just standing their ground with respect to selling certain players, and not just selling Emmy for just 10, 11 million, trying to get the 20 million, also trying to get more money for Torreira, and doing the same with respect to Kolasinac right now. They're trying to sell him for at least 10 million. That's a good thing in a way. I see those are the things which are doing good. I don't see why not we don't get both of the players. I see realistically we can get both of them.
Okay, optimistic from Carter. All right, Your Majesty, what do you think? Say, what do you think?
Yeah, for me, the issue I have with Arsenal is that now we have finally tried to sort out our central defense. I mean, I think with Gabriel, with Saliba, with Marie, we can build something. Hopefully, Luis is leaving next year, and then after that, we can bring in someone as well.
It's cover.
For me, the issue is, our central midfield. I don't care what anyone say. It's not good enough to even reach top four. Over a season of 38 games with Xhaka, El Neni, Ceballos, we will not get top four. And top four for me is not even good enough. We should aim to try and win the Europa League, and we should try to aim to get as high as possible in the league. If that then means that, we finish third or we finish fourth and we have the Europa League, that's a good season. But for me, we need to get two central players in. One that's more defensive, one that's more offensive. For me, it doesn't have to be Partey, Aouar. I would love to have them. But if it is Szoboszlai and Sumare or Sangare, I'm good with that. Because at least it's two young players that have talent, that are proven for their age, and can help us be better as a team. Because obviously, he's doing something with the team. He's making players like these El Nenis and those doing something. Imagine what he could do with proper players. And that should be our aim, to get in proper players. And I hope that's the plan. But for me, I'm not happy right now with the transfer. I want more players out, and I want more players in.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I mean, I kind of, funny enough, we're talking about it on group chat at the moment, where, we do have forget the money factor. We actually do have a problem of making room for people in the team, because we need certain people out, regardless of choice, because, we only are allowed a certain number of people in the squad. I mean, do you think, this is my concern, Arsenal dragged their feet over 3 signings. And what we're essentially saying is Arsenal need to bring in, if we include a goalkeeper, 3 players at least, not to mention getting rid of 3 players. I just feel like I don't know, man. I don't know. Arsenal, I'm not convinced that they have that sort of ability to be that efficient, to say to themselves, all right, cool, we got 3 weeks left, less than 3 weeks left, let's do X, Y, Z. and then do A, B, C, and then we finish for the. Because here's the thing: even if we get Partey or a Partey type, whether it's Summary or Sangara, as long as it's one of those three, and then you have an Aouar, right? I think most people would say that's the bare minimum that we require in order to do something. And I think most people would still say we've got to get rid of Kolasinac, we've got to get rid of Socrates. El Nene, are you sure you want him around? Like, this is a geezer that we were all preparing would leave the club. He's had 3 good games in a career of about 4 years, and now you're all of a sudden saying that you want him to stay. You know, it's just things like that. The Bellerin thing, I did say this earlier, a couple of weeks ago. I don't think he will leave, which makes me worry if Ainsley Maitland-Niles will leave. So you do worry. I mean, I even saw Leicester being linked today with that Roma winner under that we were being linked with.
I think it's confirmed already.
Is it confirmed? Okay.
Or like
So
Fabrizio confirmed it.
So you do wonder, you do think to yourself, are Arsenal that efficient? Do you think Arsenal can get all of these things done, Daniel, in your opinion?
No, I don't trust them at all. I think we move too slow. Like that's pretty much, we've been moving really, really slow compared to other teams in terms of getting our priorities done. But yeah, I actually really don't trust this midfield at all. I
No.
think if we don't bring any like sort of midfielder in, I think we'll be playing 3 in the back for the whole season. I don't feel as confident. I don't feel as confident playing with the back 4 with the El Neni or Xhaka or Guendouzi even. I think they get really overrun easily when playing these like high pressing teams. I just don't think we have the facilities in order to play a back 4.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you, to be honest. Carl, what do you think?
Check, why not check? Last year, if you see, we let go of almost 8 or 9 players, even though a couple of them were on loan. Why not this year? Like, just because Raul is not there, we cannot do it. Maybe that's not the reason. We can pull it off if we are capable of it. And as we know, Arsenal are like, I don't know why they're suckers for deadline day transfers. So one is gonna be a deadline day transfer, one is gonna be a little bit early. That's what happened last season too, if you think about it.
And that's the thing. I think you're right. And this, I suppose, links with what Overplan says. Overplan, you're another one I need to get on the stream at some point. Which he talks about a Lamar type of bid, right? And I feel like if you're going to do that, it needs to be with a player that A, wants to come to the club, and B, you're confident about getting. So if they're going to do that with any player, they should do that with Partey.
Yeah.
Because at least Partey, we know, wants to come to the club. We know that quietly Atletico Madrid are planning for life without him. And that if we just bid what they want, we'll get him. So that's the one I'm quietly hoping, if there's going to be a deadline day deal that is actually successful, it will be that. But I don't know. We'll see what happens.
And also, Chig, with respect to the formation, I think we have to continue playing 3 at the back for a longer period of time until both Gabriel and Saliba get used to each other.
I agree.
Even if Partey and Aouar come, I guess we can probably sacrifice Laka's position and play Willian in Laka's position and put Auba and Pepe on left and right.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So really turn into like a Liverpool type of formation.
Yeah, that would be, and because Willian can play as the number 10 and he can drive into the box, and also Aouar has the tendency of going front and back, and Partey can hold it back. You know, we can use 2 midfielders and have available spot players like Xhaka, Doozy, or like whoever it is there.
I would agree with you. If we bring in both, then I don't think we'll be able to play a 4, because bringing in both would have to be dynamic enough to be flexible. And the one thing about playing three at the back, you're going for a very rigid, tough, almost strict discipline type shape because, quite frankly, you don't trust the midfield. And I can understand that. Whereas I think if we only bring in one of them, I still think you can play three at the back. You just need the right people in the personnel. And I guess I suppose that brings me on to that for you, Syed. I didn't talk about that with Daniel, and I'll come back to Daniel as well. In terms of that shape, I mean, where should we bring in both of them? Where do you see Arteta playing a 4? Do you see him sticking with the 3? The 3 has been so successful for him and Arsenal. There is obviously a temptation to keep it as a 3. What do you think?
I think it depends on the personnel. I think the reason why we are playing with 3 defenders is because Xhaka is not good enough defensively to just be a shield. So if you put in an extra player there, he doesn't have the dynamic, he doesn't have the pace or speed. But if we have 3 at the back, then we won't expose him. Meanwhile, if we get in like a Partey and then Aouar, or just one of them, I think we'll see a 4-3-3 with Partey, Xhaka, Dias, or Partey, Xhaka, William. And also, I think as long as Gabriel and Saliba are not 100% fit, we're still going to see a back.
Okay. You said you need to go, don't you?
Yeah, because I'm on holiday.
So let me let you go now. We're probably gonna stick around for 5 minutes with these guys. Let the people know where they can find you, bro.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram, King Drama, and I'm Facebook, but I'm not active on Facebook. But It's always nice to come on your stream and.
Yeah, Khalid said it before, and I must admit, I like it because you have a very calm demeanor, and you always speak sense. So I like having people on that speak sense. So it's always good.
It's always a pleasure, my guy.
All right, brother. Well, take care for now, and I'll carry on with the other 2 fellas for 5 minutes or so. Yeah, take care for now. Syed, ladies and gentlemen. The audio on site is really low. Okay. See, I thought it was just me, Rune, right? The last time I said that, the chat room said, no, they can hear him fine. So I thought it was just me, but I agree with you. G to PT, I see you, brother. I hope you're well. I'll see you in the chat. Okay. In terms of people you're worried about in terms of their signings and their moves and top 4 race, let me ask you guys both this question before I come to our last question, and that is, who do you think you're most worried about at the moment? I'll go with Daniel for that one.
Oh, okay. Like in terms of which team or
which teams that you think, oh my gosh, I really don't like the way that they're building their team and making moves. Is there any team that you're looking out at thinking, wow, they look really good at the moment?
I think Wolves. Or like Wolves could. I don't see them making top 4. I just think that they will battle out for European spots, 5th and 6th, and maybe I'll say I don't think Everton has the. I don't think they could last the whole season with the good run, and maybe Spurs if they get Bell and one other midfielder.
Yeah, I think for me, and I'll come to you in a minute, Carter. I think for me, I'm most worried about. I think Spurs. I'm a little all of a sudden worried about what they're doing. Everton, I think they're fixing their midfield, but I feel like they need some work elsewhere as well.
I personally don't think Richarlison is that player that could score.
I don't rate him.
Yeah, even in Cup. I think what they need is a Lacazette player, which could make sense for Lacazette to go to Everton.
He
I,
wouldn't.
I don't.
So
I don't think it wouldn't, but it would make sense for Everton
yeah,
to make that sort of signing.
yeah, I agree. It would be a good marquee signing for them that I think would get everybody hyped up. They bought James Rodriguez. Maybe James Rodriguez might think to himself, "Oh, you know what? I'm going to prove to everybody that I am a really good player." I really like their Alan buying. I think Alan is a very good player. I think that's a good signing for them. And obviously, I love Decore. I don't know why. I don't know what Arsenal are doing. Arsenal should have just said to themselves, "Right, forget this Partey thing. Let me go and get Decore." Even though I think Partey is a better player, but one can make an argument that Decore has the Premier League experience, so I'm just going to go and get him. So it is what it is. I also agree. I don't think Edouard would be a bad signing for them either. I think Edouard would be a pretty good signing for them as well. So I do wonder if they might make a move for someone like an Edouard. Carter, what about you? Is there any team that you are worried about based on the business that they're doing at the moment?
Business-wise, as Daniel mentioned, Wolves, Chelsea, of course, they'll get better. I know they just had individual brilliance and they were able to score. Once they get their chemistry right, they'll be even more dangerous team. And of course, we can never count out Man City. Man City are always there on thereabout. And right now, even Spurs are trying to make some moves. Even though Bale might not be so consistent over 38 games in the Prem, he will have his moments where it can prove to be very crucial for them. You know.
I think he'll start off really well and then eventually start relaxing again. But I think initially, the first 5 to 10 games, I think he will start off on fire. And I think he'll just relax again. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Supposedly, they're deep in negotiations now. So we'll see if that actually gets to go ahead. According to Ben, Fabrizio's already kind of given it the sign off anyway. So let's see what happens. All right. This is my final question. By the way, real quick heads up. Every time I do a member stream, I will end with this. Because as we always know, the transfer window constantly changes and people constantly change their mind. Now, I obviously did a predictions video 3 days ago. If you haven't had a chance to see it, go check that out, where I do all 20 teams. And quite frankly, I've not changed my mind from that. Where I decide not only top 5, top 6, I let you know where Arsenal will finish, let you know who's going to finish bottom, who will finish in the bottom 3. So do go check that out. And at the moment, my mind is still where it is. But let me ask you first, Carter. And I'm going to add a proviso. Where do Arsenal finish, provided you get Partey and Aouar?
Fourth.
Okay.
No, third.
Wow. Okay.
Third.
Wow.
Because I think these players gonna to play. Leave Bellerin, leave Shaka. They have to leave. We have to know that. But there are so many players who really want to play for this manager, and I can see that they will do anything to pull out a win, and that's what they did during Community Shield without training or anything, you know. But the biggest test will be when we go to Liverpool. They're fed up of us beating them twice. They're gonna turn up really big.
You know
So
what I
that's
love
our
about
test.
this? We can look back at Carter's predictions after this when I next ask him this question. All right. So, okay. All right. Optimistic. Who knows? You never know. Listen, you got to aim big. I want these lot to be aiming to win it. Forget what
Yeah,
I.
exactly. Why not? Why should I keep saying like fourth or fifth or like this is what I see? I see that our team can play. Our team is supposed to be Arsenal. We're supposed to be world beaters. We're not supposed to be settling for fourth or second or whatever. So third is like we will be challenging and we lose to third. As Daniel said, we should be supposed to do that. I believe we can do that. Why not?
Okay. All right. Well, he makes an intelligent argument. I can't. Even though I don't agree, it's hard to argue against it. Daniel, what about yourself?
I think Arsenal will finish I think it all depends on what Arteta decides to do in terms of formation wise with the acquisition of Partey and Aouar. Um, it's hard because like I think I think we're gonna be battling out with Man United in terms of that fourth spot.
Me
But
too. Me too. And I think we'll lose it.
yeah, I think it could either be we could either have a good season, be be fourth, or we could just have a mediocre season and finish fifth or sixth. So, but depending on what I'm seeing on the base of like what's going on behind the scenes and like pretty much how everyone is pretty much there's I don't know, there's some sort of vibe. I don't know if you've seen the El Nene interview about like he was explaining about like
Yeah.
how everyone's putting now 100% and like before they were in.
Where was that before? What do you mean you weren't putting in 100% before? That even pissed me off. Like what? Why weren't you putting in 100% before?
Yeah, so I honestly I think we could finish fourth, but I don't know. It all depends. Anything could pretty much happen within 38 games. I think it all depends on first this first half of the season.
Okay. All right. I think you both make reasonable points. I think a lot of it is going to depend on how much we're in our flow. Listen, as much as I'm still a little bit skeptical about Arteta, I have to give the man his credit. He's improved a lot of players from who were shit to average to make them look half decent. And if what El Nene is saying is true, I think it's disgraceful. Let me just get that out of the way. But flipping over the page for a second, if he's now getting the maximum out of these players, that extra, I've heard coaches talk about that extra, 4-5% that you need in order to push yourself towards the title. If that's what we need to get ourselves over top four, then maybe it might be worthwhile. So I think let's see what happens. I want us to start selling people. That's what I want us to do. Or at least get them off the books so that we can have room for Partey and Aouar and who knows whoever else. So let's see what happens.
A surprise loan move. I don't know. Coutinho. I don't know.
You never know. I'm with you. I'm quietly expecting something like that as well. I must admit.
Yeah.
I am quietly expecting something like that. My favorite stoner's in the house. Brother, where have you been? Where have you been? I'm about to wrap up. But I hope you guys are well. Dan, do you want to let the people know where they can find you?
Oh yeah. Pretty much on Instagram you could pretty much find me on let me see. Oh, it's pretty much Daniel with 2 eyes _ S 3040. That's pretty much my Instagram. And then in Twitter, I think I forgot what's it. The Striker 007. I think it is. I think that's my Twitter.
There you go. we got both of those. Go give them a follow on both platforms. And Trouble over here, Carter, go on. Let the people know where they can find you.
It's same. Carter Stage. You'll find me having the Santi photo on my Instagram profile. It's an open profile. If you find it, you'll find a cool Ford 7273 Mustang.
Yeah. Okay. Well, go give him a follow on those platforms. Sorry, I was reading GDPT's comments. Like, yeah, okay. Please do give me a follow on Guna Eagle Eye on Insta. Trying to build those numbers up because I look at my Twitter following and I look at my Insta following, like something's going on here. They don't match. So do follow me on Insta, Guna Eagle Eye. If you like, I'm trying to phase myself out of Twitter, but if you like, you could follow me on Twitter at Colossal Chig. Do hit that subscribe button. We are on the road firmly now, on the road to 10K. Let's see if we can get that sewn up. I'm quietly hoping by November. So let's see if we can get that sewn up. Also, continue to join the membership. This is what we do every single week. We do at least an hour. Sometimes I get bored and we do 2. That's just how we roll. So make sure you do hit that join button. You get all sorts of little goodies and stuff. People have asked me, I will be doing a fantasy football update sometime in the next few days just to check what the league is saying. So make sure there's still time to join. The link is in the description. Make sure you join the Fantasy Football League. Payout is for the top 5 places. So make sure you join that league. And that's pretty much it for now. So I'm out of here. We're out of here. Take care. Enjoy your evening. And peace.